In 2006, a fisherman found an unusual white stone underwater in Palawan. He thought it was just an ordinary object until he handed it over to the city hall in 2016 after his house nearly burned down. The stone had been under the fisherman's bed for 10 years. It weighs 75 pounds and measures to 0.2 feet in length. When examined by foreign experts, it was discovered to be the largest pearl ever found in history. It is estimated to be worth over $100 million, or roughly 4.8 billion pesos. This extraordinary pearl is now displayed at the City Hall of Puerto Princesa City. In the early 2000s, Maria Lado, from Cavite, Philippines, had a happy family until she decided to work in England. Her employer, secretly a vampire, fed her half-cooked liver, leading to her illness from ingesting his blood. Returning home, she served dinner to her husband, who was horrified to discover that the meat he ate was their son. In his rage, he attacked Maria, leaving her with a scar that earned her the name Maria Lado. Now a vengeful figure, she roams the Philippines while her husband hunts her down, and communities band together to protect their children from her wrath. In the 1950s in Iloilo, there was a barrio lieutenant named Teniente Guimo who had a daughter that was a teacher. People whispered that Guimo was an Aswang, but they had no proof. One day, Guimo's daughter came home with a friend, also a teacher. That evening, the guest was told she couldn't return to her town and had to stay with Guimo and his daughter. Later that night, the guest woke up to strange noises downstairs. Curious, she quietly went down and saw a big kettle of boiling water with Guimo's relatives discussing a plan that frightened her. They mentioned where she slept, what clothes she was wearing, and the jewelry she had on. Realizing she was in danger, she quickly ran back upstairs, changed into Guimo's daughter's clothes, and escaped. Guimo, believing he had harmed his own daughter, was confused and worried. The teacher found help and reported what happened to the police. They investigated her story and it confirmed it was true. The next morning, Teniente Guimo was paraded through the town, and everyone learned that he was indeed an Aswang, forever changing how they viewed their leader. Duende are captivating spirits from Filipino folklore, often depicted as small, mischievous creatures living in nature, especially in trees, hills, or hidden caves. These enchanting beings can bring either good fortune or playful mischief, depending on how they're treated. To win their favor, people often offer food or perform rituals, showing respect for their magical domain. Encountering a duende is said to be a moment of wonder and unpredictability. They may guide you to hidden treasures or lead you astray if disrespected. This rich belief reflects the Filipinos' deep connection to nature, where every rustle in the leaves might be a whisper from a duende.
Tabi, 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 tabi. Tabi, 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 tabi. Tabi, tabi, tabi.
In the 1960s, Filipino inventor Daniel Dingle claimed to have built a car powered by water, sparking widespread interest. His invention supposedly split water into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis to fuel the engine, a concept that, if real, would have been groundbreaking. Scientists worldwide doubted its feasibility, yet Dingle became a national icon of innovation. In 2008, however, he was convicted of fraud after accepting investment from a Taiwanese firm but failing to deliver the technology. Dingle's water-powered car remains a captivating what-if story in the realm of alternative energy. Tuli, or male circumcision, is a traditional practice in the Philippines, usually performed on boys aged 10 to 14. During the summer, groups of boys often line up for the procedure without formal invitations. A skilled healer uses a knife to perform the circumcision, typically without anesthesia. To help manage pain, the boys are given guava leaves to chew on during the process. Afterward, the healer provides aftercare instructions to ensure proper healing. This important cultural rite marks the boys' transition into manhood, reinforcing their identity and connection within the community. In the 1950s, a mysterious traveler arrived at a Tokyo airport. He looked sharp and confident, saying he was from a place called Tor, which he claimed was between France and Spain. The customs officials were confused as they checked his passport, which seemed real but listed a country that didn't exist on any map. As they questioned him, the traveler grew upset, insisting that Tor was real. Frustrated, he argued that they must be mistaken. They decided to keep him in a hotel for more questioning, but when they returned the next morning, he had vanished without a trace. Only a locked room remained. The story of the man from Tor spread quickly, sparking curiosity about what happened to him. Was he a time traveler or someone lost from another world?
Monal like she used to smile way back then. She's feeling like she used to feel way back when they tried. And something kept them.
The San Tilmo, also known as Santo Elmo's fire, is a supernatural phenomenon in Filipino folklore. It manifests as a glowing ball of fire floating over marshes, rivers, or cemeteries, often associated with lost spirits or wayward souls. These fireballs are believed to guide or mislead travelers, depending on the spirit's intent. Some legends say the San Tilmo represents a restless soul, trapped between worlds due to unfinished business or a tragic death. While its appearance is mesmerizing, many locals consider it a warning or bad omen, especially when seen at night in remote or dangerous places. The Shoi, a sinister creature from Philippine folklore, lurks beneath the waters, waiting for its next victim. With its scaly, greenish skin, webbed hands, and piercing eyes, it's a nightmarish blend of human and sea monster. Legends say it haunts rivers and coastal shores, dragging unsuspecting fishermen into the depths. Some believe the Shoi can control storms, summoning turbulent waves to claim those who stray too close. Beware its eerie presence, for the water is its kingdom, and trespassers rarely escape alive. In Filipino folklore, the Katal is a mythical sea creature, often depicted as a half-woman, half-fish being. With long, flowing hair and a shimmering tail, Katal are said to inhabit the deep ocean and coastal waters. They are known for their enchanting beauty and mesmerizing songs, which can lure sailors and fishermen to their doom. Despite their alluring nature, Katal can be both gentle and vengeful, protecting their underwater homes from those who threaten them. Stories of Katal serve as warnings to respect the sea and its creatures, blending themes of beauty, danger, and the mystery of the ocean. The Tamo or Encanto in Philippine folklore are mystical beings often described as ethereal, tall, and fair-skinned with one unsettling feature. Their lips appear smooth and seamless, with no natural slit. This eerie detail, combined with their otherworldly beauty, distinguishes them from humans. They are believed to dwell in forests, caves, and rivers, guarding hidden treasures and occasionally interacting with humans. Tamo are both feared and revered, as they can bring either fortune or misfortune. They are known to lure people into their hidden realm, and those who follow often return cursed or never return at all. In Filipino folklore, the Manbabaran is a captivating yet fearsome figure, often depicted as a witch or sorcerer with the chilling ability to wield supernatural power. Known for their voodoo-like practices, these mysterious beings can summon swarms of insects, especially wasps and ants, to do their bidding, striking fear into the hearts of those who cross them. Using a combination of spells, charms, and dark rituals, the Manbabaran can inflict illness, misfortune, or even madness upon their enemies. Their presence looms large in local tales, and to protect themselves, people often turn to skilled healers or perform intricate rituals, hoping to shield themselves from this potent and enigmatic force. In some Filipino folklore, it is believed that all bubbling or boiling unexpectedly, it indicates the presence of an Aswang nearby. This superstition ties into the idea that Aswang have supernatural qualities and can be detected through unusual reactions in natural elements. While these beliefs are rooted in cultural traditions, they reflect the broader theme of using natural science to interpret the unseen world. Such practices highlight the rich tapestry of folklore surrounding these mythical creatures and the ways communities have historically sought to protect themselves from perceived threats. An Alario is a fascinating figure in Filipino culture, a healer, mystic, and guardian against the unseen. Often sought after when modern medicine falls short, Albilarios wield ancient knowledge passed down through generations. With a mix of herbal concoctions, whispered prayers, and powerful rituals, they treat not just the body but the spirit as well. Known for their deep connection to the supernatural, an Albilario is called upon to fend off Aswangs, banish curses, and restore harmony. Many Filipinos believe that an Albilario holds the wisdom of the ancestors, making them both a healer and a spiritual guide.
Yeah!
The Signon is a creature from Philippine folklore, often described as a strange, goat-like animal that prowls at night. It's believed to walk backward with its head lowered between its hind legs. The Signon is said to have the ability to suck blood from its victims, especially children, using its shadow. It's known for its eerie silence and agility. Some legends claim it can render itself invisible, and it's rumored to be kept as a pet by sorcerers or witches. The White Lady is a well-known figure in Filipino folklore, often depicted as a ghostly woman dressed in white, wandering desolate roads or abandoned areas. She is believed to be the spirit of a woman who suffered a tragic or violent death, typically due to betrayal, murder, or an accident. Her most famous haunt is Blute Drive in Quezon City, where she is said to appear to motorists, sometimes causing accidents. The White Lady's story symbolizes unresolved trauma, vengeance, or sorrow, and she represents one of many supernatural entities in the Philippines associated with death and the afterlife. In Filipino folklore, the Tiktik is a creature often described as a humanoid or monster-like being. It is known for its haunting call that sounds like tik-tik. This creature is infamous for preying on pregnant women, believing their babies are a delicacy. The tik-tik can mimic human sounds to lure its victims, creating an eerie atmosphere. People in rural areas are especially wary of tik-tiks at night, sharing stories about how to protect against them. Some even say if you hear a tik-tik, just offer it a plate of your least favorite food. It might just leave you alone. Kuang is a figure from Southeast Asian folklore, particularly prominent in Indonesian and Malaysian mythology. Often depicted as a ghostly woman who can detach her head from her body, Kuang is said to hunt for blood, especially from pregnant women or newborns. She is typically portrayed as a vengeful spirit, driven by the pain of her own tragic past, often linked to themes of loss or betrayal. In many tales, Kuang can be repelled by various rituals or protective charms. Her legend serves as a cautionary tale, reflecting cultural values regarding motherhood and the supernatural, while also highlighting the fears surrounding life and death in traditional societies. Kuang embodies the intersection of myth and moral lessons in folklore. In Filipino folklore, the Katal is a mythical sea creature, often depicted as a half-woman, half-fish being. With long, flowing hair and a shimmering tail, Katal are said to inhabit the deep ocean and coastal waters. They are known for their enchanting beauty and mesmerizing songs, which can lure sailors and fishermen to their doom. Despite their alluring nature, Katal can be both gentle and vengeful, protecting their underwater homes from those who threaten them. Stories of Katal serve as warnings to respect the sea and its creatures, blending themes of beauty, danger, and the mystery of the ocean. Blute, a fertilized duck egg with a developing embryo inside, is a popular Filipino street food that has become a challenge for tourists. While locals enjoy it as a tasty snack, many foreigners are hesitant to try it due to its unusual appearance. The dish is often served warm, and the sight of the partially formed duck can be intimidating. Filipinos enjoy watching visitors take on the Blute dare, where they are encouraged to eat it despite their initial reluctance. For Filipinos, it's a normal, delicious treat, but for many outsiders, it's a culinary adventure with a fear factor. On August 17, 1976, a strong 8.0 earthquake hit the Moro Gulf in the Philippines, causing one of the worst tsunamis in the country's history. Huge waves crashed into coastal towns, bringing destruction and chaos. The disaster killed nearly 5,000 people and left thousands more without homes. Survivors faced many challenges as they tried to rebuild their lives. This tragedy highlighted the serious risks of natural disasters in the region. On June 6, 1944, during D-Day, some Normandy bunkers were built in a way that caused grenades thrown inside to bounce back at the thrower. The shape of the walls and the layout made this happen. When enemies threw grenades into these holes, they could end up hurting themselves. This clever design used the attacker's actions against them. Such traps made the fight even more dangerous, showing the tough challenges soldiers faced in the chaos of World War II. Don't you know, the first car to go to outer space is a Tesla Roadster? On February 6, 2018, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket, led by Elon Musk, launched the car with a mannequin named Starman in the driver's seat into space. The Roadster is expected to orbit Earth for millions of years, though it will gradually degrade due to radiation, micrometeorites, and extreme temperatures. Researchers estimate a 6% chance of it crashing into Earth and a 2.5% chance of hitting Venus, but it could drift through space for tens of millions of years, symbolizing humanity's early ventures into space exploration. In 30 AD, a young boy went to hear Jesus speak to a large crowd by the Sea of Galilee. He brought with him 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish for his meal. As the day passed, the crowd became hungry, but there wasn't enough food to feed everyone. The boy, wanting to help, offered his small basket of food to Jesus. Jesus gratefully accepted it, blessed the loaves and fish, and started sharing it with the people. Miraculously, the food kept multiplying, feeding thousands of people, with plenty left over. The boy was amazed that his small gift was used to help so many, showing that even the smallest acts of kindness can lead to something extraordinary. In December 1896, Andres Bonifacio and Emilio Jacinto disguised themselves as Spanish sailors in a daring attempt to rescue Jose Rizal from a ship transporting him to execution. Their plan reflected their deep commitment to the revolutionary cause. However, upon reaching Rizal, he refused to escape, emphasizing his honor and belief that his fate should not jeopardize the movement. This incident symbolizes Rizal's principles and the determination of the revolutionaries. Bonifacio and Jacinto's bold effort highlights their willingness to risk everything for freedom, showcasing the camaraderie of Filipinos fighting for independence. A Cobri is a large, tree-dwelling creature from Philippine folklore, often depicted as a giant humanoid with dark skin, hairy body, and glowing eyes. It is said to live in large trees like baliti or banyan trees, and is usually associated with smoking a large cigar or pipe. The Cobri is not typically malevolent, but is known to be mischievous and enjoys playing pranks on people, such as leading travelers astray or confusing their sense of direction. Some beliefs say Cobris fall in love with humans and try to woo them. If someone possesses a Cobri's enchanted belt, they will be able to see the creature and, sometimes, befriend it. Despite its intimidating appearance, the Cobra is often considered more of a guardian spirit than an evil one. The Tickballing is a creature from Philippine folklore, often described as a tall, humanoid figure with the head and feet of an animal, typically a horse. It is said to inhabit forests and mountains, leading travelers astray by causing them to lose their way. Legends suggest that a Tickballing can befriend humans if they manage to tame it or if they acquire its hair. While some view it as a trickster, others see it as a guardian of nature. The Tickballing embodies the rich tapestry of Filipino mythology, symbolizing the mysterious relationship between humans and the supernatural. The Manananggal is a legendary creature from Filipino folklore, often depicted as a terrifying, vampire-like being. By day, it appears as a normal human, but by night, it transforms into a monstrous creature. The Manananggal separates its upper body from its lower half, sprouting bat-like wings to fly in search of prey. It is known for preying on pregnant women, using its elongated tongue to suck out the hearts of unborn children. To protect oneself from a Manananggal, placing salt or garlic on its severed lower body prevents it from reuniting, ultimately leading to its demise at dawn. The Aswang is a creature from Philippine folklore, often depicted as a shape-shifting monster or vampire. It is known for its ability to transform into various forms, such as a large dog, bird, or human. The Aswang is notorious for preying on pregnant women and children, with some legends describing it as a nocturnal creature that consumes flesh and blood. Often associated with dark magic and malevolence, the Aswang is a central figure in Filipino horror stories and superstitions. The ultimate fear surrounding the Aswang lies in its eerie ability to blend into society, hiding its true nature from unsuspecting victims. Watch out, you might be sitting next to an Aswang. The Moranhig is a creature from Philippine folklore, often described as a zombie-like being that rises from the dead. It's like a cursed version of Deadpool. It cannot truly die. In Visayas folklore, these undead beings are condemned to wander the earth after failing to enter the afterlife. Much like Deadpool's regenerative abilities, the Moranhig is nearly indestructible and persists even after being injured. However, a strange twist to their menace is their habit of tickling victims to death. Instead of a quick, violent attack, they often use relentless tickling, causing victims to suffocate from laughter. To defeat a Moranhig, bury it face down. This prevents the Moranhig from rising, as it would struggle to dig its way out in the wrong direction, ensuring it remains trapped and powerless. The Chanok, a creature from Philippine folklore, appears as a crying infant to lure victims. When approached, it transforms into a vicious monster with sharp teeth and claws, attacking those who come near. It's believed to be the restless spirit of an unbaptized child or a demon offspring, often hiding in forests and remote areas. To stop the Chanok, one can throw salt or ash at it to repel its evil nature or recite prayers to weaken it. Some legends also suggest giving it a proper burial and baptism to release its spirit and end its malevolent behavior. The Pogut Alunandpuri or Headless Priest is a famous Filipino legend from the Spanish colonial era. It tells of a decapitated priest haunting churches and cemeteries, searching for his missing head or seeking revenge for his death. Parents often use the story to scare children, warning that the Headless Priest might appear if they wander off and get scratched. The ghost is said to roam at night, holding a lamp. But honestly, even if he finds his head, he'll probably just lose it again. He's got a pretty bad track record with keeping things attached. Biringan City is a hidden, magical place of the Waray people from Philippine folklore, said to lie deep in the Samar region. One night, a fisherman set out on his boat, expecting an ordinary trip. But through the mist, he saw a bright city with golden towers. Curious, he sailed closer and found himself inside the glowing streets of Biringan. Beautiful, otherworldly beings greeted him, offering riches beyond his dreams. However, when he realized something was wrong and tried to leave, the city's streets shifted like a maze, trapping him forever in Biringan's mysterious, magical world. Subscribe if you like this content. In 1981, a tragic and mysterious incident unfolded at the Manila Film Center in the Philippines. During the rush to complete the building for the Manila International Film Festival, a scaffolding accident caused several workers to fall and become trapped in wet cement. The urgency to finish the project allegedly led to some bodies not being recovered in time, giving rise to rumors that some workers remain entombed within the structure. Since then, the center has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the country, with stories of ghostly apparitions, strange sounds, and eerie sightings surrounding the building. In Filipino folklore, the puso ng saging or banana blossom is believed to contain a super serum, much like Captain America's, that grants immense strength and agility. Guarded by Encanto or nature spirits, this powerful liquid is accessible only to those with pure intentions. Anyone who disturbs it without permission risks a terrible curse. However, if approached with respect, the liquid grants the drinker extraordinary power to perform heroic feats and protect their community. This myth underscores the deep reverence for nature and the belief that great rewards await those who honor its hidden forces. Subscribe so that Encanto won't come into your house. Don't you know, Darna is not the first Filipino superhero? Weipo holds the title, created by Liba Brenna and Nestor Redondo in the 1947. His name, meaning whirlwind in Filipino, reflects his ability to transform into a whirlwind, allowing him to fly and move at incredible speeds. As one of the earliest superheroes in Philippine comics, Weipo used his powers to fight crime and to protect the innocent. Although he isn't as widely known as Weipo is a pioneering figure in Filipino superhero history, paving the way for future heroes in the local comic scene. Why are some Filipinos' noses flat? This is due to genetics and adaptation to the humid, tropical climate. A flatter nose with wider nostrils helps with better airflow and temperature control. It also provides aesthetic and practical benefits, adding to facial diversity and being seen as attractive in many cultures. A flatter nose can give a softer, more youthful look and may be less likely to get injured. Plus, it really looks good, enhancing overall facial harmony and beauty. Why Filipinos are brown? Filipinos have a naturally beautiful brown skin tone due to a mix of genetic factors influenced by the country's tropical climate and geography. The Philippines, part of Southeast Asia, has people who evolved darker skin as a form of protection against the sun's intense UV radiation. Melanin, the pigment responsible for skin color, helps protect against sun damage. But it's not just about science. Filipinos are also known for their stunning looks. Their unique combination of features, from radiant brown skin to charming smiles, makes them naturally handsome and beautiful, admired worldwide for their warmth and appearance. On October 24, 1593, Gil Perez, a Spanish soldier, was on guard duty at the governor's palace in Manila. Tired and weary, he leaned against a wall, closed his eyes for a brief moment, and when he opened them, he was no longer in Manila. To his shock, he found himself standing in Mexico City's Plaza Mayor, over 9,000 miles away. Confused, Perez asked where he was and explained that moments earlier, he had been in Manila. He spoke of the recent assassination of the Philippine governor, a fact only confirmed days later. Perez had no memory of how he traveled such a distance, sparking one of history's most enduring teleportation legends. Ever wonder why so many Filipinos seem to have swapped pacifiers for microphones? It's like karaoke is hardwired into their DNA. From epic bathroom concerts to in-car sing-alongs that feel like world tour. Life in the Philippines is one big musical fiesta. Singing isn't just a hobby, it's a way of life. By adulthood, their stage presence rivals Beyoncé's, turning everyday moments into joyful celebrations, one song at a time. No wonder Filipinos captivate audiences worldwide. If everyone in the world peed at once, the total volume of about 8 to 16 billion liters to 0.1 to 4 to billion gallons would be equivalent to 3,200 to 6,400 Olympic-sized swimming pools. If this volume were evenly spread across Luzon, the Philippines' largest island, which covers about 109,000 square kilometers, 42,500 square miles, it would create a theoretical layer of 0.73 meters to 0.4 feet deep with 8 billion liters. While this depth would cover Luzon on a map, in reality, the urine would quickly dilute in the ocean, preventing widespread coverage. The "where'd they go" maneuver was a classic Filipino tactic. Fighters would use the dense jungle and mountainous terrain to disappear almost like magic. They'd execute surprise attacks with all the stealth of a ninja, then vanish before their enemies could react. The bewildered opponents were left scratching their heads, wondering if they'd been pranked. Imagine soldiers in the thick of the forest, hearing rustling, then poof, nothing. The tactic was so effective that it often felt like the Filipino fighters were ghosting their enemies, leaving them frustrated and constantly on edge, never quite sure where the next ambush would come from. On May 23, 2017, the siege of Marawi City erupted as militants seized control, sparking a brutal conflict with Philippine forces. Among the courageous soldiers was Don Ryan Ayler Bayot, whose heroism became legendary. Surrounded by enemy fighters, Bayot made a selfless decision by radioing his superiors with a chilling request.
Just bomb my location, sir!
Despite his plea, they did not bomb his position. But his willingness to sacrifice himself in the face of overwhelming danger highlighted the extraordinary bravery of Filipino soldiers. Andrew Dawson was an adventurous person known for exploring the snowy mountains near his home. One day, while filming for his growing online audience, he spotted a tall, shadowy figure moving across the white landscape. Heart racing, he recorded the sight, convinced he had encountered a giant. As the video went viral, Dawson claimed he was being stalked by government agents who wanted to silence him. This fueled speculation that officials were hiding the existence of such creatures. Viewers were captivated by his story, torn between believing his claims and questioning their validity. Tragically, Dawson passed away in 2023, leaving his followers to wonder about the truth behind his legendary encounter and the mysterious forces at play. His story remains a fascinating blend of adventure and intrigue in internet folklore.